According to your site, 95% of great movies follow the story map. I'm curious, what is a story map?
A story map is a structural template that's followed by most commercial films, and it breaks a story, a film narrative, into 4 acts: Act 1, Act 2A, Act 2B, and Act 3. And it contains 4 major story engines that drive each one of the individual acts, and 8 to 12 major signpost plot beats. It's not deciding what you will write, it's providing a form and a template with which the writer pours their story into. So a writer still makes their own unique creative decisions, but they may want to think about what page ranges those decisions fall in and the kind of basic beats that would inform the storytelling.
Okay, where do you think many new writers go wrong in terms of the map, in terms of the layout? Where are most new writers weak in that structure?
Often it's overwriting to the point where those beats are falling too late. Like I mentioned, the inciting incident should probably be between page 8 to 12. But we also want something that I call the strong movement forward, the next major beat to be in the page 18 to 20 range. Sometimes that doesn't happen until 28, and then the true end of Act 1, which should be around page 30, is in the beginner script not happening until page 38. And that really makes the reader anxious, and it slows down the pace of the story and the structure. So it's not hitting the proper page ranges. Again, this isn't deciding what you should write, but it's deciding basically what page ranges the major beats should be, how you should tell the story to some extent, okay? Kind of that outer frame of the story with which you're pouring your unique decisions into. But as far as mistakes, there is a major signpost beat falling too early, too late, or just not being there. For example, there's a beat that I call the assumption of power or declaration of war beat. And this should happen around page 75, and you can see it in movies, it happens around minute 75. If that's not there, if there's not that moment where this character really feels their true power and acts in a way that makes them rise to the occasion and kind of a declaration of war or an attack and a declaration of intent and something that taps their inner strength, if that's not happening in that page range, I don't think the story is necessarily moving as it should.
Interesting. Is there an example of a film or two that you could just tell us about, like when that moment is? That's fascinating to me.
Yeah, what I call the declaration of war / assumption of power beat is around page 75 in a screenplay and minute 75 in a film. So a classic example would be in The Karate Kid, the show me paint house moment. Show me paint the fence, show me sand the floor. And it's that moment at which Daniel LaRusso realizes he's been learning karate all along, even though Mr. Miyagi has been making him do all his chores. So he asks him to show him the positions that he's put his hands as he's been doing these chores, and it turns out he's been learning karate this whole time. So Daniel really realizes his true power, realizes he can do karate, and he's doing it already.
So when you go back to read scripts that you can tell are from a more seasoned writer, you say that you just see it as a tighter, in terms of when, say that inciting incident, pages 8 through 10, or it's a more on the nose.
It flows.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Right. And then you can tell maybe someone who's more of a green writer, baby writer, by the fact that it's looser, it's either farther pushed down or too soon or something.
Yeah, it's overwritten, scenes are too long, they drag on too long. You have those Q&A sessions of dialogue, those talking head scenes where there's just too much on-the-nose dialogue. The scene isn't moving forward. You want every scene to advance the story, to explore the controlling theme, or reveal crucial character. Okay, it has to advance the story, so definitely that first one it has to do in some way. And then ideally, it will also be on theme, that major theme, that central theme that this particular story is exploring? And then third, does it reveal some crucial character, something that we haven't seen before about this particular character?
So what about the school of thought where people say, it doesn't have to be so on the nose, and then there's others that are like, yes, it does. Well, what's your take on that? Because we do
as
get
far
comments.
as like page points and structure?
Yeah. Some people really debate that and they feel really controlled by that. But it sounds like it's incredibly important because the reader or the viewer will lose interest.
I think it is. I think structure is very important, and hitting those page points is important, if for no other reason because every reader in Hollywood has internalized that structure. But I mean, the real proof in the pudding is that when you read prose scripts by produced writers, by the top writers in Hollywood who are making the top money, they use this structure. So there has to be something about it that is the reason why the first act of a movie is around 30 minutes. I mean, there's something there. There's some reason why that works.